What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TDSFX Pedals. Yes, it's not TDS, it's tedious. Why? Play on names, right? As a company that I myself, Sean Davis, aka Truck Driver Sean, aka Guy That's Bag Deep in Your Mom, and Park Kingery run. What's he known as? Midget Bald Guy. Yeah. There's the Fall Guy, and then there's the Midget Bald Guy. Park's gonna kill me. Anyhow, we have our second pedal prototype in. This one was designed by none other than a huge inspiration for my love for pedals. He kind of helped change what I thought about pedals. I was always a plug straight into the amp guy. And his name is Richard Siltz. He owns, runs, builds, designs, causes all kinds of fuckery over at TDSFX. Super good guy. I honestly cannot believe he took this project on. Same as Pedal 1. I can't believe that Shay took it on. So far, no one's really told me no. So, I wouldn't be asking these guys if I didn't think they made the best stuff on the planet. Just going to put that out there. What's your problem? I'm filming. Go lay down. Go. Don't be dumb dog. Just quiet down. She gets real confused. She's really a sweetheart. She is. She's my bachacho. Aren't you? You're my bachacho. She'll bark at me, but she knows not to cross the threshold when I'm filming. But she does every once in a while. She's sassy. But anyway, back to the pedal. She's really looking at me all sad. She wants breakfast is what it is, and we try not to feed her until 9 because we eat kind of supper late, and if we're eating, she has to eat, so we try to wait. But anyway, you don't need to know about that. But anyway, I decided, with help of Park, of course, this is not just me. Park and I had many discussions on what we thought would be cool for a boost, and I had this crazy idea, and then Park kind of added something to it, and then Richard himself added something to it, so this truly is a collaborative project. I thought it would be kind of interesting to not have a treble, mids, and bass control. You got that on your amp. But what really happens is I think most of us players have a hard time with frequency. So what we have here is frequency controls. And instead of the boost just being a boost, well, you can go from 0 to 25 dB by just turning it up. It kind of gets intensified, you know, and I just call it an attack. Why? Because that's pretty much what it is. Thing is an angry, pissed off thing. So what we have for controls is at the top you have your high frequency on one side, your low frequency on the other, mid frequency, dead center. You have your attack, which is how intense it's going to be. And then because, you know, Park made a good point, he's like, what if it needs a little more juice? Because it's a clean boost. It's like, well, let's add a little bit of gain. It's not a lot of gain, but when you start tinkering with it and you start playing with how much attack you have and how much gain you have, it leaves you a lot of room to really take an amp that's really not that good and she'll do some stuff. All right? And Richard had this bright idea because she gets a little dark at times because it's all frequencies, right? So what we always fight for as guitar players is mid-range and highs because that's where we kind of sit in the mix, right? So he thought putting a center frequency control that kind of tinkers where your highs actually sit before the frequency. And that was a genius move. Now that I've tinkered with it, without it in there, this pedal wouldn't be complete. So huge shout out to Richard for taking that step himself, going, I think it needs this. And he just chucked it in there. It wasn't even part of our treatment that we wrote up. But the man knows what he's doing. I try to let these guys, when they're designing, kind of have their own leash. It's another thing Park and I did is these guys are designing it. We're building it. We write treatments, you know, what we're looking for. But they got to design it because we don't have the knowledge, brain power, patience, or time, I guess. Because we're fucking lazy. I should call it lazy ass effects, but really, at the end of the day, we got smart people designing our pedals based on our treatment set we give them. And so far, I'm super proud of the things that we have our hands on. They're all unique. They're a little different. They're in the lane of something you know, but they're different. And this is no exception. So I know you've heard me run my suck hole. So I got everything at noontime. So we're going to hear the just the amp. I'm using my Republic X amp, and I have it dummied down. And I know someone's going to be like, why are you using the X amp again? And instead of one of these other high-end, super awesome amps you have. None for nothing. If you play one, you will understand. And I have no bones about it. I have amazing amps. I have my KSR Ortho Smart 2. I have my different. I have my own signature amp. But that amp right there, the story behind it and everything is just awesome. And none for nothing, the guy that builds them is awesome. So anytime I can tell people about Andrew at Republic Amps, I do. And I love that thing. That amp just slaps. So let's have a drink of coffee. We'll see how horrible I made it sound on purpose so we can see what this pedal does. Poor Andrew, when I do these videos, he's going to be, oh my God, what are you doing? That amp sounds better than that. And he's right, it does. Oh yeah. Hey, if you have little kids sitting around, which by the way I've already sworn like a dozen times, you know, this is a bad habit, kids, but it's first thing in the morning and I don't really give a shit. What am I going to fire myself? Alright. Here we go. So as you can tell, and by the way, there's no noise gate. Just so you can hear exactly what this pedal does. That's with everything at noontime. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kill the gain all the way off. Leave everything at noontime, and we'll listen to the amp and then the pedal, and then we're going to dial it in, and then of course we'll play with the fire, right? Or the gain, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I have this where I'm pretty happy with how the frequencies are sitting. Just to give you an idea of where I put the frequencies, and I have not played around with the attack yet. That's still dead center. So I'm going to show you the amp and then where I have the frequency set. So you can see how I just changed just the frequencies of this amp. Okay, as you can tell, it's subtle, but it's important. That's what's good about this. This is a boost pedal for somebody who really just wants to take an amp that's not a horrible piece of shit and just kind of trim things and move things around that you can't really do with just your traditional bass, mids, and treble, right? All right, so now we're going to play with the attack. As you can tell, that is a huge difference. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back just to regular amp, and then we're going to turn ourselves on to where we are right there. Then we'll play with the fire, because I know that's what everybody's waiting for, right? How nasty will it get? All right, here we go. Okay, if you don't think that makes a difference, then clearly you have hearing problems. So let's let's play around with the fire, which is the gain, and the gain is not a lot, but when you're pushing the attack, it gets stupid. So now you get to balance a little bit of your attack, a little bit of your gain, and you get to kind of really sculpt a really awesome tone. All right, so we're going to hear just the amp, and then we'll start playing with the fire, the gain. Okay, so once you get halfway up, it's what I call an unusable amount of gain. As you can tell, it is loud. So what you can do there is, if you still like to have a little bit of a different gain than what your amp has, you just turn that attack down a little bit, and you get this. So there you go. That is the Bilé Boost. And it has that trim pod in the inside that plays with your highs. I just leave it dead center. For me, that's good. The rest of this does exactly what I need it to do. And what it doesn't do, I can literally go, if I need a little more mids, I need a little more treble, like physical mids or treble, I can use my amp, because my amp is literally all the controls, except for the gains. I have the gain dipped pretty low, but all the controls are at 50%. So I have a lot of wiggle room. I could really sculpt an amazing tone using this pedal right here. I'm super excited for this. I'm going to get this sent out to Park so he can give me his thoughts. And if Park doesn't have nothing to add, we'll be seeing this pretty soon. I mean, the segment drive, literally, we're just waiting on the parts and building will commence. That one's all tied up and ready. This one will be following shortly after. Granted, we're going to focus on the segment, so this is going to be a little bit. And just for me personally, I know Park feels the same way. He's just as shocked as I am that no one said no so far. Richard, if you're watching this, I can't thank you enough for designing this. I have no worries that my boost pedal is going to kick ass. Or our boost pedal. I gotta remember to say our. I don't know why I keep saying mine. Our boost pedal is going to kick ass. It really is good. It is super smart. And good on you, man, because taking a treatment that someone gives you and trying to put what they put on paper into a physical pedal. If anybody ever wants to say that you and Shay are not smart people, I have a lot of evidence otherwise, because what we asked wasn't exactly simple. And flawless execution, and again, having that center frequency control really did help, because if that wasn't there, I have it turned halfway up. So if it wasn't there, it probably wouldn't be bright enough for me. So that was a great call. Great call. And that's just, that's just a testament to how smart you are, man. So if anybody wants to know who Richard is, obviously, I mentioned it already, but I'll mention it again. He is the owner, builder, proprietor, half delivery man, because his dog delivers the other half, which, by the way, is the coolest shit ever, and we should get more pictures of that dog taking off with the pedals. It's the coolest shit ever. All mine does is bark. It doesn't do shit. So yeah, Eris Effects, definitely go check them out. I have a shit ton of his pedals, and every once in a while there'll be something that's really not up my lane, but I'm a fussy motherfucker anyway. But for the most part, I have a shit ton. I'm staring at them right now. Just on the wall, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 on the wall. That's just on the wall. That's not in boxes in the closet. So clearly, I love that man's work. This is awesome. Like, I think that the segment drive is really good, like super good for people that want like that overdrive that just beats you to death and is actually useful. It really is super, has a lot of clarity to it and stuff. But for people like Boost but want a couple extra options that you don't have in most Boost, this is right here is going to be a rocket for those guys. So yeah, like I said, just keep following TDSFX. We'll have more on this in the future. I can't guarantee what comes out will be exactly what this is. Once Park gets to try it, we sit down and talk. We might have to have a revision done to take care of a couple things. But right now I'm going to say this is pretty damn good. But you can only think it's pretty good until, well, do you have a better idea to throw into it or something you want to change? So I'm going to tinker with this a little bit more over the weekend. Maybe I'll have some short clips I'll put up of it. There's no sense in showing you the design. I mean, if you want to know what the pedal's going to look like, there's some magic I can do where I can throw a picture up right here. That's tentatively what the Bilé Boost is going to look like. Right there. Okay? All right. Very cool. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking this out. This is just a prototype. I can tell you right out the gate, this will not be scrapped. This is definitely going to be pedal number 2. It is named, which we kind of jumped the gun on naming it. We shouldn't name stuff until it's actually done, but we kind of do things in reverse. Park and I have a lot of ideas. We talk a lot about ideas. But we're not going to have a lot of pedals. We have a lot of ideas, but we decided we're not going to have a shit ton of pedals. Because, well, it's just two of us building, you know. And we have full-time jobs that pay us enough where we just don't want to give it up. You know? Who knows? It could blow up into something and we could afford to do it full-time, but I think theoretically and realistically, this will be like something we do with passion and care. And we'll keep continuing to work with nothing but the best. You know, the best people will be designing shit for us. And yeah. And as a little hidden Iggy, we have a third pedal in development. But that will be it. That will probably be it for all the way through 2025. We'll have these three. We're going to focus on getting them built, getting them out. And yeah. 2025 is going to be a fucking cool year for TDSFX. It just is. Mostly because of all you who give a half a shit to pay attention. And hopefully this becomes something more than just, yeah, my TDS thing is chucked on it. But again, it's not TDS, it's tedious, like a tedious task. TDSFX. It's just a play on stupidity. Before I didn't have anybody with me at first. I was just going to do it myself. But I wanted to do it with somebody, and I wanted to do it with a friend. That would be a lot of fun. And so far, it has been a lot of fun. And we're working with awesome, awesome people. Obscura's doing our enclosures. So far, I've done all the artwork. I do have it out there. If you're an artist, we can't afford to pay all these crazy fees. But if you're an artist and you're like, oh, I have something pretty cool, maybe they'd use that on a pedal. Please, never feel free, never feel ashamed to send us something. You never know. It could end up working with what we're doing. And if you're an artist that just wants to draw something, you can always get a hold of us and we can tell you, like, hey, this is what the next pedal's going to be. Have fun with it. Try to figure it out. Yeah. Good times. So, with that said, I am going to bow out and drink more coffee and definitely hit that vape a few more times. And then, I got a guitar, I got a demo that came in. Yay! And then we get to play with a new camera and all kinds of stuff. So that's probably the only productive shit I'm doing in the 2 videos. Alright. Thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate it. Please, if you're seeing this because I've shared it on my dumb pages and stuff, please follow TDSFX. And that's the one with all capital letters. The other one that says you can be friends. Yeah, I screwed that up and it won't let me delete it because it's an asshole. Fuck Facebook. And we don't have an Instagram yet, but we're going to get one as soon as I figure out how to make it work right. Being that I already have a pretty productive page and I use my cell phone for everything and I'm dumb. Okay? The truth is I'm just dumb. Alright. Very cool. I'll catch you later. Alright? Promise. There'll be more. There'll be more. There'll be lots more. Matter of fact, you'll be seeing more of the segment. Hopefully the next trip I come home, there'll be more to do with that. And again, this is the bile drive is what people are going to call it, but it's actually pronounced Bilé. But, no, hey, bile drive is good for me. Sounds gross. Fuck it. All right. Catch y'all later.